Okay, hey guys. Hi. An oddly calm and collected Trish today. First, let me just start off by explaining a little bit what happened last night. I have two big triggers, abandonment and loneliness. Like, those are two things that I swear will haunt me the rest of my life. I'm working on finding things to do when I am alone so I don't feel lonely, because we all have to be alone at times in life. That's just life. And then I also obviously have to work through just fear of abandonment in general, because I feel like if you constantly are thinking everyone's going to leave you, you're going to find a way that everyone will leave you. Anyways, so those were my little triggers last night that I got really depressed. I still haven't drank any alcohol or used any drugs or been on any pills since May 8th into the hours of May 9th, but I say May 9th. So I just get, I get almost desperate for attention. I get, and I definitely should not be posting that online. This is something I talk about in therapy a lot because it's something that I immediately regret. So we talked literally yesterday about this thinking technique of thinking through the consequences of your actions, and the consequences of that is people thinking I'm crazy, or not trusting me because I'm up and then I'm down and then I'm up and then I'm down, and people genuinely being concerned for me. And so I just have to I have to pause. I didn't think, because I said, I was sober when I made the video. I wasn't thinking again that, oh my god, but it does look manic and I give you that, and it's just some low lows for sure. And I gotta work through it, because it's not every night. And I just gotta work through it, and I can work through it. And there are plenty of people who have reached out, and I am so thankful. So I don't want anyone to feel like I'm alone or I'm doing this alone. There are people that I would never have expected to reached out, which is was part of the reason I put out those things, is because I'm craving some sort of communication, some sort of interaction. Okay, so let's fast forward to this morning. So I'm thinking, okay, I wake up this morning, I'm okay, I'm okay. Trish, you're okay. You survived the night. You didn't have to go and hook up with some guy. You're good, Trish. I made myself some bacon. If you didn't see that on my second channel. And people were I'm worried. Trisha's cooking bacon at 11 p.m. And I was well, that video I didn't think was worrisome. In fact, I thought that was a little more lighthearted to be okay, well, I posted this video, but now I'm going to just make myself some eggs and bacon and feel better. I thought it was more lighthearted, but then people thought that was, that's so weird. I'm worried about her. And I get it. Again, I get it because of the previous video. So it's not why would people think that? I'm not that oblivious. So then I wake up this morning and think, okay, Trish, I have a lot of not heavy decisions, but decisions I need to make going forward, what I want to go forward doing. And I'll explain that later, but in another video. So, that's my first thing this morning. I got up, had my coffee, meditated, and I was okay, let me make some decisions on what I want to keep doing, what I don't want to keep doing, and also just business decisions, is this a healthy path for me? Is this not a healthy path? All that stuff. And I like working. Honestly, I like to be busy. So I was just at the end of the day, I was I need to work because I haven't been, and I've been not leaving my house, which is one. These shirts are my favorite, by the way. Shout out Victoria's Secret. I know we hate Victoria's Secret because they don't like plus size girls like myself, or not naturally born women, trans women. We have those issues. I don't know if they ever apologized, but I have to say these shirts are really comfy, and they just got 3 new colors. This sounds like an ad, but it's so not. Could you imagine they sponsor me? And they got 3 new colors, so you're gonna be seeing a lot more. These shirts are just so comfortable, but make sure, I would even hand wash them. I throw mine in the washer and then hang dry it, but I honestly hand wash it. It does lose a little bit of the softness. But I get way lazy. The fact that I can even wash a shirt is beyond me. So, I wake up and I do all that. And then I get all these tweets. Oh, here comes the kitchen floor video. Uh-oh, Trisha's reaction in 3, 2, and I was and it's a video, and the thumbnail looks kind of just a troll. There's so many hate videos about me now. So many hate videos. So I was just oh, it just looks like another troll video or whatever. like the thumbnail looked very similar to the H3 video of me. And this title is Trisha Paytas Without Makeup. Like, it's a very bold title. And I was like, okay, they're trying to get clicks or views. And then I see the username is pewdiepie. And I was like, that's probably not real. Like, but I was getting more and more and more tweets. And I was being tagged in these screenshots. And I was just like, and the thumbnail is of me, and then it's so funny. I actually like that guy in the thumbnail, Colin Mockery, I think his name. He's a comedian from a show I used to watch called Whose Line Is It Anyway? So I was like, obviously it was a joke. Obviously, like the thumbnail, obviously that it was like Trisha Paytas Without Makeup, and obviously that wasn't me without makeup. It was like a bald man, and I just immediately was like, no, like. Not trying to be victim. I'm really not, because I watched something on self-pity. One of you guys tweeted me that Russell Brand did about self-pity, and like, you know what, he's right. Like, you can't stay in self-pity. You can grieve and you can do all that stuff like that, but like self-pity is dangerous into itself. Like, you can't feel sorry for yourself. So it's not like, I'm not saying this to feel sorry for myself, like, oh, I'm in like an already kind of unbalanced state of mind. That's just a fact, and I'm working on getting out of that, because obviously that's why I'm the most hated person on the internet right now, is I haven't been taking care of my mental health. And also, I guess I just am not saying the right things, and we'll get to that too. So getting ahead of myself. So I saw the PewDiePie, and I was just like, oh my god, that can't be real. And I see it within like 30 minutes get like 500,000 views. I mean, it's PewDiePie, so like, he doesn't need to use me for views, right? I mean, obviously, I guess his thing now is reaction. I actually genuinely don't watch him like on the regular. I've of course seen his videos, but like, I always knew him as a video gamer, and I don't watch gaming channels, so. But I think he does go into that more so now, like reaction stuff, or I don't know, commentary, I guess that would be. So, first thought, I mean, first you think of just doom. I just think, oh my god, this is it. This is it. Not only am I the most hated person on the internet, the most well-loved person on the internet hates me too, and now this is the nail in my YouTube coffin. And, you know, because it does, I mean, hate weighs on you. Again, not to be self-pity, but it does weigh on you. You're like, gosh, all these people hate me. It starts making you like, and then immediately I just want to fix it and talk and like run my mouth and be like, no, but I'm a good person, and no, I didn't mean like this, and oh my god, I'm stupid with words. Like, that's my initial reaction, is to like defend myself, because it's like, oh my god, everyone hates me. Like, it's crazy. And so, and my manager would be like, no one's even talking about it, or like he'll say like, no, it's not that big of a deal. I didn't even know until he told me. So I'm like, then today even he's like, okay, it's a big deal. PewDiePie is talking about it. And granted, it's very old news, but when it's PewDiePie, he has 93 million subscribers, which is so insane. So I was just like, oh god. And I watched it, and my first watch through, I was just like, oh god, like, I am an awful person. I like had me hating myself too. I was like, wow, yeah, I suck. I just suck. But then of course I had to like sit on it, because I honestly then, you know, all those decisions I made early in the morning, like, yes, I need to continue to work and do this, all of a sudden became like, nope, I need to close up shop and hide for a while and let this all pass. But that's not what I do. And this is one thing, right? We're also talking about building ourselves up, right? Like, constantly tearing ourselves down, but we also need to give ourselves props. And a lot of people are like, wow, good people don't have to say they're a good person. I mean, that's not what I was about to say, but I am a good person. But or like strong people don't have to say they're strong, but I am freaking strong. Like, at the end of the day, like, I get up and keep doing, because I don't want to miss out on opportunities that I've been given, or opportunities I've created myself, or the possibility of creating more opportunities. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I really, really, really love what I do, and for the most part, I like who I am. I mean, I'm very, very insecure, and I'm obviously emotionally stunted, and obviously I have mental health problems I need to work on and through, which I never really did, to be honest, never. And now I find myself reading like self-help books, The Power of Now, Russell Brand's book. I have the anxiety workbook. I have The Secret. I'm reading like, I'm reading just like all these like books, and just like all of a sudden, and I'm meditating, and I'm like, you know, I don't know, like I'm like, and then of course seeing therapists in my group and stuff like that. But, you know, for the first time, I'm actually like trying to work through my problems, and it's very little by little. So of course I'm not going to be like, watch my growth in 30 days. Like, it's going to be a lifelong process to correct all of this. But, you know, because in therapy, we're still kind of stunted at the May 8th incident. And while I'm like choosing to let that go in like online, obviously, and stuff, and I am trying to let it go in my head, like if it does get brought up or if I do have any guilt or something, obviously I talk through that. However, we talk through other things. And actually yesterday after therapy, I made a whole video about what we talked about. So it's a lot of stuff beyond that incident and then just other stuff I've been dealing with. But again, we're still very much in the present without having to dig into things that are probably causing and triggering a lot of my problems. Okay. I don't know where that tangent was going. Sorry. Saying I'm a strong person. Like I am. I mean, the one thing I can't do, which is a blessing, is I can't just like sit and feel sorry for myself for too long. Like it feels good for a day, and then that day I'm like, this isn't helping me. This isn't helping anybody. Like me sitting and feeling sorry for myself really doesn't help me. Like it feels good to be like, wow, good thing like I have me. Like people don't even understand. Like it does feel good because you do. I'll say for me, I a lot of times feel like people really truly can't grasp my situation. But okay, again, not to be self-pity, but then you're like, okay, so that's like the self-soothing, but then you have to like, you do have to snap out of it and be like, okay, you gotta face these things. Like when people were mean to me at school, like, I mean, I quit a lot of times school and like moved to different schools, but you couldn't always do that. So you have to go and you have to face people. And if I want to keep my career and it's also my hobby, YouTube, you know, I gotta face it. I gotta face the people and the backlash and the criticism and the commentary or the jokes or whatever. So, you know, I was watching it. The thing that I guess maybe sparked the most out of me was him saying the liar, manipulative, aggressive, abusive, which are terms that people have used to describe me, and those would be terms I would never describe myself as, but people have described me as that. So now that's my next thing I bring into therapy is how am I going to, because he'll always tell me, my therapist will always be like, I'm not trying to give you the answers, I'm trying to help you find the answers for yourself. So we need to talk about that, obviously, because look, not to keep bringing up my last relationship, but that's the relationship you saw the most of me in my relationships. Like, I was not good in that relationship. That is not a good person. Like, I looked back and like, you know, at like some of the really happy times, like, oh my God, we were so happy. But then I also look back and I'm like, oh, like, and I've apologized multiple times to him since then, even when we were on speaking terms after the breakup and stuff. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I just was so awful to you. So I wasn't great. Look, here's the other thing. Like, so when he said all that stuff, I was like, oh my God. And he goes, and then he said, now that we can all agree she's a horrible person, now we can make fun of her, right? And that just like stung too at first, because I was just like, oh my God. And then, but then I was like, you know, you're not a horrible person. Again, like people say you don't have to tell everyone you're a good person, and I'm not, this is not my video to be like, so let me tell you why I'm a good person, my giving heart and all this. Like, that's not why either. And ultimately my goal moving forward is to just show people that I'm a good person. I'm a good person that has made many mistakes, that has made stupid choices, that has a sharp tongue, that has an anger problem, that has mental issues, and there's probably more. Sensitive, you know, ultra sensitive. But at the core of it, like, I am a good person, and at the core of it, I really do want everyone to like me, even though that's not possible. I've talked about this in many therapy sessions, about truly being a people pleaser. I think because I have somewhat of a strong opinion and a strong personality, the way I say things, maybe I don't have the best choice of words, or what I'm trying to say doesn't come out the right way. But I truly want people to like me, which is kind of overall why I stopped talking about religion and politics, because that's just something that will automatically divide people. Sorry, gotta FaceTime. That will automatically get people like upset. I'm gonna turn this over because it's distracting. So even that, I try to just kind of distance myself and really really, I just want, like I said, my goal is to kind of just make people happy and then also just share whatever struggles that I'm going through, and it's not really inflicting anyone else to come forward with problems or drama or anything like that. It's kind of how I like to be. So even though I am at the core of all this hate and controversy and scandal, and I laugh because I'm just like, how did it spiral here? Like, holy moly, like PewDiePie be making a video on me, like, you know, I just like on all of it. I was like, wow, like, and it just all happened at once, which I guess maybe that happens, right? Like the snowball effect, like, okay, well, they hate her for this, and like, so maybe it's like I don't know, it just all seemed to happen at once, at the same time of like my literal downfall. Like the night I had the worst night of my life, all of this followed after. So I was just like within days, and I'm like, wow. So when it rains, it pours, but maybe there's a rainbow at the end of it. There's a rainbow at the end of it. That's how I like to think. And not to say I'm all fine and dandy, because I'm so far from it. But so then I was like, okay. So I have to do a quick side note. I'm going to link it below. There was a really nice video about me, and I just wanted to get that a little light by primink. And I actually wouldn't say it's all rainbows and butterflies. It was definitely like not a stand. At the end of the video, he had some criticisms about me, and that I don't like to hear, but it was fine. But it did show a lot of the unedited stuff that got edited in an original hate video about me, where I was actually defending the person, and my words got taken completely out of context to make it look like I was being evil, when in fact I was actually trying to defend somebody. So if you care still, go give it a view. It really made my heart happy, because like, again, I know my truth and stuff, but I'm also not that person to like sit and edit and make a video defending my case, because at the end of the day, it's not really my job to be like, this is my truth, you know. I want my word to be enough. I understand that's not the case right now. I hope one day it will be, if people still want to watch and they're like, okay, well, we'll watch and see. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I'm really just like, I can only just show you. I just like with any change or any sort of growth, I think I can only show it. So then I was like, oh my god, okay. So, and you know what? I got to the end of the PewDiePie video, and look, can I just say, I'll just stop right here too. Like, I am not one who's scared of saying sorry. So many people are like, she can't say sorry. I truly and sincerely, I apologized before, like Perez's video and other people's videos. Like, I truly sincerely apologize, like if I hurt somebody in my life. The big thing, and I'm laughing out of just sort of, I guess, just frustration, I guess, for myself, or just whatever, is this whole like ghosting thing. That's like that's the big issue people have. Like, I'm right. And I am bad. And actually, we talked somewhat about this in therapy with actually like real life friends that I know and stuff. I don't necessarily ghost them, but I won't text them back for like a week or whatever. And I use the term friend loosely. It's mostly like acquaintances that want to hang out. And I feel just bad. I just feel bad like if I don't want to hang out with somebody. And that's more of just me, I don't know, like not vibing with someone, wanting to save my energy, being lazy. I don't know, whatever the case is, sometimes I just don't want to hang out with people. And I feel like so awkward to say no over and over that I just stop texting. You know, I'm just, you know, I was supposed to actually meet up with someone here in LA again this past week, and I'm trying to be so conscious of this, of like not setting plans, because I do, everything changes day to day in my world, right? But I'd like to have friends, so I would like to have plans, but, and he's like, oh my God, did I get ghosted? And he wanted to hang out this next day, but I was really sick over the weekend, and I didn't know if I was going to feel better, so I was kind of like waiting till I was like, hey, you know, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to be sick tomorrow, but also I didn't want to be like, you know, I don't know. I'm just really, really bad at communication. So bottom line is, if I've ever hurt anybody because I didn't want to hang out with them, or if I didn't communicate, or if you felt ignored by me, like I really am sorry. Like, I've been ignored and I have been ghosted multiple times. And like, yeah, it sucks. I shared the story. I had a friend of 8 years. Like, my best friend totally ghosted me. Never heard from him since. Like, it sucks. It does suck. And I'm pretty sensitive and pretty empathetic. So that's why I was like, oh, for me, it's like happened. I'm like, well, that sucks. And it's weird. But I always just looked at it as like, oh, they're going through something. But again, I'm not here to invalidate anyone else's feelings. And I'm more sensitive about things than other people. So I truly apologize. And there's probably too many people to apologize to. So if you really would like a personal apology from me, like, there's probably a list of people. I will do my best to see your message. If it's a DM or email, trying my best to reply to people, because people are very sweet and very nice. But so I sincerely apologize. I also sincerely apologize. I have a very sharp tongue when I'm angry or heated or on drugs. And none of those are excuses. So this is my apology. I apologize for having sharp tongues and tweeting things or saying things that, and I've worked a lot on that. I give myself credit. I have worked a lot on holding my tongue and saying nasty things. I hate that my mind even goes there to like say nasty, like below the belt things to people. Like, I don't know. That's plagued me my whole life, and it's nasty and it's really ugly. That's my least favorite thing about myself that I've really had to work on, and I just try not to go there, because it's just it doesn't feel good, and that's like embarrassing. Even when I think about stuff I said at 21 with like my just trying to hurt someone with my words, like, it's nasty. So I apologize, and there's if I owe you an apology, I will apologize. If you want a personal one from me, I will. Because like I genuinely feel bad in life. Like, in general, I feel bad that I can't do enough for people, and I can't give enough of myself. Like, I genuinely feel bad all the time. And that's why I don't text people back, because there's so many nice people who want to hang out, and I'm always like, I need to hang out with someone. But then when it comes down to it, like, I get anxious, or I get like, I don't know. I hang out with people, but at the same time, like, sometimes I need to also keep my introverted self in. Okay. So then, so I was really upset. I was like, oh my God, PewDiePie made a video about me. But in the ending, I was ultimately flattered, because the ending, he included like my 2 dogs have brains video, which people still come up to me about. It's so crazy. And this Teletubby video I did, which I actually don't even remember. I didn't even know those were still up, to be honest, because I am always deleting videos. That's just me. So when I saw the Teletubby one, I was like, oh my God, yeah, that was like, and I watched the whole thing through, and I'll say I was honored. It was almost like SNL, like, making fun of you, right? Like, there is a certain status, right? PewDiePie being the #1 YouTuber, like, kind of making fun of your videos. Like, I thought he was clever. So maybe if, like, I think back, like, maybe if I liked H3's humor, which a lot of people do, I personally don't, but like, people don't get my humor, so I'm not saying, I'm not shading or anything like that, but probably if I would have liked his sense of humor, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's funny. Same kind of way I liked David Dobrik's sense of humor. Like, I always thought his stuff was funny. Like, any jokes he's made about me, like, sometimes those old ones will pop up, and I'll be like, oh yeah, like, I find that funny because I find him funny, you know what I mean? So it's not that I can't take a joke, or that, like, I guess it's just like delivery, and that kind of like was reiterated with PewDiePie's video, because I was like, oh, like, the ending was, I felt very flattered. I thought it was like, I laughed out loud at some parts at myself. No, at his commentary. I was like, well, that's really clever. Just like Chris Clemens, he did a video about my Patreon, which maybe if someone else did and they were kind of like mean about it, right, which I was kind of expecting him to be, like, mean about my body and stuff, I may have taken that video a completely different way. But because I found him clever, I was like, oh, this is really funny. Even though, yeah, he was like making jokes at my expense, like, I just found it clever. I don't know. So I think that is a sense of humor thing, which maybe in the future when people make videos about me, especially, and also I truly didn't know H3 was considered a comedian, or a comedian in general, not considered, but a comedian. Like, I kind of just knew him from the podcast. I thought he was just like a journalist or something, like, to be completely transparent. But that's why I kind of got over that one a little quicker too. Someone explained to me he's kind of like a troll, and I was like, okay, you know? So then I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so then I was like, PewDiePie made a video about me. And then I just keep getting tweets all day and people expecting me to break down and like go after him. And there couldn't even be something to go after him if I tried. At this point, like even all the stuff he mentioned, it's all been out there and it's all been like brought up time and time again. And just like with people calling me fat, like you're disgusting, like you hear that so much you become numb. So like fat and stuff doesn't even bother me, but now these new words of being manipulative, liar, all this stuff, abusive come up, and I'm like, those are some big words, and now I have to become numb to them. But not to say I don't want to fix it, just like being fat. I'm currently on a diet now, like I'm trying to fix it, right? Not to say I don't need to fix that, but those are all of this stuff that keeps getting brought up. Okay, yeah, I was a shitty person 2 years ago. Yeah, I should have done things differently. You do become numb, and it doesn't hit you so much like, you know, like frozen ice. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but so yeah, and because even when I was talking to my mom this morning, I was just like, oh my god, the biggest, you know, because it took me a couple hours to reprocess the video. It's like, biggest YouTuber made a video, like now everyone's just gonna hate me, and like there's just no point to even try and defend myself or try and come back. Like I'm just done. And here's the thing too, like it sucks to be the most hated right now, for sure. I honestly, like you think this because it's like, so many of my friends were telling me like, you think that because it's you, and so you're getting all this hate and you're feeling it. But now it's like kind of solidified because like the biggest YouTuber is like, we hate this girl. So you're like, okay, I'm the most hated person right now. Obviously everything passes, and if I did go away for a month, like this would all subside. I could come back. We've all seen people do that. But I don't want to go away. Like I want to keep creating. Like I'm currently working on new music. And I want to keep creating. I like it, you know. I like challenging myself. I'm doing this new diet now, and I like seeing my body kind of transform every day and stuff. So like, and I'm excited because I want to share results with you guys too. So like, yes, this new diet thing is like exciting for me, but I'm also more excited to like show you guys like transformations and stuff like that. Like I get excited about that stuff. And I'm excited about what I read, and like hopefully like, and just stuff I've been working on. I'm just like, I am truly excited about it. So, and maybe nobody will care. And you know, I was talking to my manager about that today too. I was just like, well, maybe people aren't going to care anymore. And he's like, but even if they don't, like this is something you're working on, like, right? This is something you love. So just keep creating for you. And I was like, yeah, that's true. And if people dig it, they dig it, right? And if they don't, they don't. Like, here's Trish now not drinking or on drugs, and maybe I won't be as creative or as exciting or funny or weird. I don't have a lot of group of friends. I don't have a boyfriend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm going to be boring again on my own, but that's what I got, and that's what I'm working with. And I just, you know, I'm just trying to just, you know, make it through life, right? Make it through life, and also make life happy and make life worth living. You know, I kept that video up from last night because there were some like valid struggles I think a lot of people face. Is like, you think you're wasting life. Like I'm sitting here and I'm not getting out of the house. I'm like, okay, it feels like I'm just kind of waiting for life to pass me. But no, I'm healing, and I'm also preparing for the next chapter. And I think that's okay. I think there's time that you can just have some dead time, right? Where you're just like, okay, healing from this and preparing for this next chapter. And at the end of the day, the biggest YouTuber in the world made a video about me. And like, I don't mean that out of narcissism. I was just like, well, at this point, like I should just be flattered, because I was like, if this is, you know, where that's gotten to, that's where it is. And the thing is, some people are like, I'm worried about you. And again, I completely understand that. And again, I take full responsibility, and I do apologize for that too. Like that you worry about me. But just know this, like I am still sober. I am still praying. I am still here, and I'm still making videos. I think And there's nothing wrong with taking a break. It made me really sad, actually. Like Kit Harington recently, the guy who plays Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, he checked into like a mental health facility for like stress and drinking. And I just saw so many jokes, and it's like kind of sad that that's where our world is at. But at the same time, like I'm like, oh wow, you know, like, or Britney Spears earlier this year. Not to glamorize it at all, but you're like, wow, if like someone on that level, or someone like, like let's just say Kit Harington, right? Because he has no known past of being quote unquote crazy. Like someone like him who has it all together, who had a hit show, he's probably has so many opportunities ahead of him, just like Emilia Clarke for Star Wars and all stuff. Like if he can get beaten down with stress and life and needing to cope with alcohol, like, and he needs time off, then like everyone needs time off, and everyone should heal and get help the way they need to. A lot of people are like you saying you're detoxing cold turkey is dangerous, but that's just how I do everything. Like going and being like not locked away, but being away from what I love and what like drives me, which is like creating and like, okay, what can I do for a video? What could be a cool outfit I could do? Or what could be a cool series I could do? Or, you know, what's a fun thing I could do to try and get my body healthy? Or music. Music is my favorite. That's my favorite thing, but I'm like digressing from the whole point of this video. So like that to me is healthy, you know? Like being in a hospital doesn't make me feel good. Like it really doesn't. And that's how I'm able to do it. And maybe people with way more severe addictions need more help, or with lesser addictions need more help. Like, you know, whoever needs whatever help you need, get it. But everyone knows for themselves what they need within reason, right? There's some people who are maybe too far gone and maybe need people to tell them. But and I get it, by showing the highs and the lows, it's a lot for people to take in, and other people shouldn't have to take that in. And it's something that I just need to deal with, because it's a trigger of being lonely. It's a trigger of feeling abandoned. And those are my own things that I got to work through. So, and I am, and it's fine, and I'm fine, and yeah, and so I'm not going to get out of here and be like, oh my God, screw PewDiePie, you know what I mean? Like, I think at this point it's probably like done, right? Not to say there probably won't be some scandal or something else from my past coming up. There's always something from my past coming up. That's why I kind of pride myself into being an open book, because I feel like if I just say everything, like no one can really use like anything against me. But who knows? There's probably something going to pop up, and we will address that head on as I do. But amidst all the hate, there are some amazing people that send me very lovely messages, and I really, really appreciate them. I think now I can say honestly more than ever. And I was tagged in a photo yesterday at my therapist's office. My therapist isn't like in a big building that has just a ton of offices, so people are there for like auditions and stuff, and someone tagged me in a photo because they saw me leaving, and some people are like, oh wow, she looks totally fine. Well, I went to therapy, like I got out of my house. I don't, you know, like I do get out of my house during the day. I try and like, I took myself to lunch and stuff, you know. So I'm not a recluse either. I put on this shirt because it's comfortable when I'm home and chilling. Also, my house is completely clean, so maybe we can get up off this kitchen floor and into another location, because my house looks bomb. I had people come clean it today, and it looks so good. And it makes me feel so much happier too. All right, guys. I love you guys. Truly, I am, like I said, I'm not trying to be like, I'm a good person, I've changed. Like, that's not it. Like, I'm sorry for being a shitty person. I'm sorry, like, for being a person that makes shitty decisions. I'll say that. And I'm sorry for being somewhat of an emotional mess and not getting a grip on my emotions. And I do need to get somewhat of a grip on my emotions, as I was talking about in therapy, or he was talking to me in therapy yesterday. You know, reaching out for attention is not a bad thing. We all need attention, but you do it too much and it becomes a little too much, basically. You know what I mean? And I get that too. So I do need to hone it in. And my ultimate goal is to not be that person, to maybe be that person, work through it, and then tell you guys how I work through it, because that's helpful and that's positive. And I do want to put positivity out there. And I'm not saying PewDiePie's video was negative in any way. In fact, I thought for the most part it was like lighthearted. I think even his words of like, what did I say? Manipulator, abusive, aggressive, like they were harsh, they stung me. I think he had an overall lighthearted tone to the video. So, oh man, yeah. this has probably been the lowest on the internet, right? Which is crazy. Of all the controversy I've had, like I'm like, wow, this is crazy that this is picking up the most hate. But I think because I'm so like alone now, I'm not in like, I have always kind of, not always, I've always been like alone, but I've always kind of had like YouTube friends, so it's kind of like, oh, okay, you know, throughout the years, not even just recently, throughout the years. And so I feel like people are like, wow, she's really alone now, I don't know, it doesn't even matter, I don't, but that's my thoughts on the PewDiePie video. That's my reaction to metal straws. Let's save the turtles. Oh, watching turtle videos is so heartbreaking. I watched one and now it keeps recommending other ones. It makes me so sad. Also, another just quick PSA, let's stop eating shark fin soup. I think it's over in an Asian country. I really hope we can like leave the sharks alone. I watched a video on Twitter today of this guy who's got his leg bit off by a shark, and then he started like educating himself more on sharks. And like, I'm sorry, this is like so weird and so off topic, but I just thought it was important. Like sharks like get killed for their fins, and it's for shark fin soup, and shark fin soup is really just for status. There's no like nutritional like value or added value to it of why you should eat it. It's just to be bougie. And I really hope if you eat shark fin soup we can stop, because those poor little sharks, oh my god, it really like made me cry this morning. I was like, that was making me the most upset, and I was like, that's all I could think about. Still all I can think about. So alright guys, onward and forward, and I will see you in my next video. I don't know what that'll be. It might be something completely different, or it might be on my kitchen floor. I don't know, but I'll see you when I see you.